everybody. I'm hoping you're having a nice April Fools. The weather is quite nice outside, and I'll explain a little bit first about myself and why I did this lecture. In general, I would say this lecture is more about what I learned about the Israeli market while I was trying to promote Olim with very different companies, okay, during the last 10 years. It has changed during Corona, it has changed again afterwards, but certain things have stayed the same all the time, okay? And it's not about making, it's not about making a point of how bad it is in Israel. It's about making a point that every country has its own point of view about what it means to be a desired candidate, okay? So first of all, I would start by saying that it's totally okay if you will decide not to accept my ideas. All of you are academic. All of you have your own point of view. All of you can say, I want to be politically correct. I want to say the truth. I want to be myself. And I totally accept it, okay? What I'm trying to say is like, if you want to play dirty, this is what I'm going to teach you today. Okay, so we are talking about playing dirty. Okay, so let's start. Okay, I'm going to talk mainly about 3 points, and we're going to leave place for question about your own personal profile. Okay, so don't worry, you can ask your own personal questions. Okay, so I'm saying it again. The lecture is not about how things should be in a perfect world. It's about how things work. Okay, most of you, let's start with that. Most of you are applying for positions which are less managerial, okay, than they used to be, or less senior. Why? And I'll explain why. Because first of all, you never worked in Israel, never. Second, your Hebrew mostly is not native level. Another reason is mentality here is completely different. If you used to manage people, managing Israeli is a whole total different story. Trust me, I worked in the US, I worked in Israel, very different cultures, very different managerial stuff, many differences in general about how to manage people, okay? So most of you are going to take at least 2 steps back in their career the minute they decided to do Aliyah or even to move to a different country. Even if you move to Canada or the US, trust me, you wouldn't start in your last position. I know what I'm talking about here. So what should you do, okay, in order to your CV to be considered, okay? So let's start. If you're over 35, I don't want to see it on your CV, okay? Israel is a very young country and it's focused about young candidates. It's focused about it even for VP positions and CEO positions. Most of the CEOs in startup in Israel are not above 35, okay? So if you're applying for a position and you want to get a chance to meet someone face to face and to show him that you are not dead, although you're over 35, you have to make them want to meet you, okay? How do you do that? You did it with a simplifying CV and a simplifying LinkedIn. We are not going to focus about the truth right now. We're going to focus about getting you a meeting. Okay? In the meeting, you can impress them. In the meeting, you can show them what you're worth. In the meeting, you can make them understand that you are still relevant. Okay? But the main idea in Israel, and I'm saying it, I'm over 50. Okay? And it breaks my heart, but this is the truth. Okay? So how do you work about it? Okay? The last 8 years in Israel, there is almost a rule. What happened more than 8 years ago is dead. Okay? Why? Because 8 years ago passed and we had Corona and 2 wars in Israel. Okay? This is the pace we live in. Things change extremely quickly. Okay? Every new technology, Israel is the first to embrace it. Every new things that comes up, Israel embraces it. So whatever happened more than 8 years ago, unless you worked in Google or Amazon or Meta, is dead. Okay, this experience is not relevant anymore. You can talk about it a little bit in your interview, etc. if someone asks you. For your LinkedIn and for your CV, not important. Okay? Now, a lot of you are going to tell me, but I did Aliyah to Israel. I didn't work for the last 2 years. I didn't work for the last 3 years. Okay, I want to see what you did in the last 8 years you worked. And if you came to Israel and in the last 2 years or in the last 3 years, you didn't do any courses, you didn't do any volunteer work, this should be also on top of your CV. So LinkedIn and CV, 8 years. A lot of you are writing on the top of the CV the number of years of experience you have. It's something European or Russian. I have more than 10 years experience. I have more than 15 years experience in your field. The minute you do that, your CV is put aside right away. Okay, that's the hard truth. Nobody wants to see someone they consider too experienced, too old, gonna fight with the manager every day, thinks he knows too much, etc., etc. In Israel, many years of experience are not a good thing. Even not for VP, even not for, only if they're asking for more than 15 years in some kind of job description, then you can leave it on. Most position will not be glad to see that. Okay, so listen, the idea is to get the meeting face to face. I'm not telling you to lie. In the meeting, they will see your age and they will see what you did. But first of all, get the meeting. Okay, in the meeting, you can smile. In the meeting, you can show energy. In the meeting, you can talk about new technology and show you're not dated. Okay, but get the meeting. So again, I'm repeating it, last 8 years on your CV and in your LinkedIn. And the most important thing in Israel, the most important thing is not describing yourself as a team member, as a project manager, as I don't know, anything which is descriptive is not good, okay? They want to see what you did hands-on. That's why usually in Israel, the first thing you write about yourself is something like, I'm a marketing manager with experience in SEO and Google Ads. I'm an expert in content writing in English/Russian. I want in the top of your CV, there should be something you can be examined on, not just general sayings, okay? If you write you're a project manager, you have to add right away, I worked with Monday.com. I worked with Salesforce. I have an Agile certification. This is on top of your CV. Nobody thinks you're a project management if you didn't do that. Okay. In Israel, your position is decided by the technical skills you bring to the table. Okay. Not about creativity. Creativity is not appreciated. Everybody in Israel are creative. Everybody have an opinion. Everybody knows strategy. Everybody know business analytics. Okay. Nobody is looking for someone that thinks he's smart. People are looking for someone they can give an exam right away. If you say you are a business analyst, okay, I'll test you right away on your SQL and Python. If you don't do that, you're not a business analyst, sorry. Nobody is looking for an idea of what you think you are. We have very clear ideas about how someone should be and what someone should know if he's putting himself in a title. If your title right now doesn't fit the Israeli market, change your title. Or you'll keep looking for many months. Okay, a lot of you, I even now saw that. I published a position for an economist. A lot of you sent me the CV that I usually ask sending for financial analyst. Okay, nope, nobody will accept it, not even for me. Okay, most of the Israeli candidates are already working like crazy with ChatGPT. It's not that difficult. Okay, you put your CV, you put the job description, it does the match, then you go over it and then you send it. Okay, nobody is looking for a genre CV for a regular CV without the same words that show up in the ad. Okay? Nobody. People are lazy. If I'm an HR looking at the CVs, I have 100 CVs. Why should I even read your CV if the first paragraph doesn't give me all I need to know? It means that you didn't do the effort for me. If you didn't do the effort, why should I do the effort? I'm not looking for candidates. I have 100. Nobody is waiting for your CV. Okay, so you see a job description. Okay, you put it in ChatGPT. You put your CV in ChatGPT. You're asking to do the match. Then you do the match yourself to make sure the ChatGPT didn't screw up. It does it sometimes. Okay, then you look at LinkedIn. You see. Oh, sorry. First, you look in Gvahim website. You see if someone works in the company, and you send through them. Okay, never online. Never online. Don't send your CV online. If you send your CV online, you kill it. Okay, which means I can't help you afterwards. No one of your HR consultant can help you, because if you already sent it online, it's in the system and nobody can take it out the system, and nobody will be ready to forward it for you. Not even me, not even another senior position. The minute the CV is in the system online and not through a referral, it's dead. So online should be your last option. If you send it online, there's nothing we can do anymore. If your English is not great, but you've been working on your Hebrew, I suggest you put LinkedIn aside and go to the regular job boards in Israel. Banks, retail, and insurance company which pay well and are really, really nice companies, okay? Like Strauss, like Bank Hapoalim, like Harel Insurance, they publish there. They don't publish in LinkedIn. And if your Hebrew is better than your English, you have such a better chance there, and even better salaries and security. A lot of the Olim are not aware to the Israeli job boards because they think, oh, there's nothing there for me. But if your Hebrew is even half decent, they will love to interview you, and you have much less competition. So job info, drushim, okay, guys, even sit you with your Israeli mentor and ask them to open a card for you in this kind of job boards, okay? Sometimes you are surprised. Sometimes they want someone with perfect English, okay? And okay Hebrew. And a lot of time you miss out because you're only on LinkedIn and you're only interested in tech. Tech is not the holy grail, not for Olim. If you didn't work in tech, breaking into the tech industry can take a year. Even for Israelis that move from retail to tech or move from insurance or banking to tech, it takes up to a year with connections. So tech is not the holy grail. Go also to the regular companies, but make sure it's a good position in the general companies. I can tell you, and a lot of Olim will tell you, that they were accepted to Moroccan Oil, to Natasha Danone, to Strauss, to Coca-Cola, and they're happy there, really happy. So don't just look in LinkedIn. You're wasting your time sometimes, especially if you're doing the move from retail to tech or from banking to tech. I'm going to stop now for a few minutes. I'm going to let you think about it. Think about your profile. Look at your profile. Look at your CV. And ask me personal questions about your profile. Okay? I don't mind. I mean, maybe even people can learn from it if it's like similar problems or similar issues. And it's okay to ask the questions which are like very open questions. I don't have experience in this. What should you advise me? I didn't learn this. I want to do this. Like, really feel comfortable asking. I'm open with you. And you can put it in the chat. I'll open the chat if you want. If you feel more comfortable not raising your hand.
Yeah, hi. So I have a question. It's a problem that I'm familiar with for a number of months. So I'm backend developer with 4 years of experience, and my Hebrew level is bad plus. I thought that it's not gonna be a problem when I have a good English. But when HRs called me, we start in Hebrew, of course, and then when I feel that I don't understand what's going on, I ask them to speak in English, and they are just like, "Oh, you don't speak Hebrew?" I say that I speak but a little. I'm doing my best to improve it, and etc. And they said, "Oh, for this position, it's really important to be Hebrew speaker, and everything is in Hebrew in the team, and it is very, very, very important." And I said that, okay, I'm looking for a job where I can improve my Hebrew. So yeah, there is no problem. I'm really
So Leah, you
so
don't
yeah,
have a
and
problem. You don't. You
I
don't.
had no's only because of this. And I at first I thought that, okay, wow, it's really important to have a Hebrew, okay, but then when some HRs are just like, oh, okay, I will ask a team lead. Maybe he will interview you. Okay, let's see what we can do. And with the team lead, I asked him, okay, so is it a problem with Hebrew? And he said, what? No, of course not. No, we're talking in English every time. And I understood that, okay, so why HRs are talking like this? So why are they doing this? Why are they saying no when the team lead says that, okay, we use English?
So listen, first of all, you found the solution yourself. I never go through HR. Okay? Never.
Mm-hmm.
Never, because it's not their fault, but they are always afraid that the manager will be angry with them if they pass someone which is not, exactly what he wants. And they're always afraid, okay? So they don't take
Mm-hmm.
chances. So I never go through HR, and I always go directly to the manager, which is the professional manager. I always prefer that the connection or the CV will not be moved to the HR. I always ask the connection, if I have a contact in a company, don't move it to HR, please. Move it to the head of the department, head of R&D, head of this, head of that, and connect me to him or to her. Okay? I never go to HR. I recommend you not to do it, because if head of R&D or someone which is the more professional manager interviews you and likes you, HR will say nothing. Okay? So simply
Yeah.
don't go through them. It will save you a lot of time and hassle. Let's be also honest. The only person that decides, it's the professional manager. That's it. If he likes you, they will take you. Okay? So
Yeah. Yeah.
the whole focus of you should be the networking and the meeting only with professional manager. Don't waste your time on HR.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Okay.
Okay?
Got it.
Okay?
Yeah.
Really, don't waste your time on that. Meet
Okay.
only
Got it.
professional manager or only programmers that understand what you're talking about.
Yeah. I see. Yeah. Okay. Thanks. Yeah.
Welcome. More question. It's okay. You see, we are like doing some, let's try. By the way, did all of you register to the networking event, the mentor networking event? Because I know there were only like 12 spaces, and I'm not sure if all are taken already. There is a meeting with all the mentors in Gvahim, I think next week or in a week. I hope some of you registered.
I have a more general question, if you would like, if possible.
Yeah.
You quite interestingly told us what people here in Israel are not willing to, not looking for. People who would be too think they are too smart or things like that. But what are they looking for exactly? What can people like us could find as skills or anything that would interest people like CEOs in Israel?
What is your
recruiters.
position?
I'm in marketing. I have done some business management. I run companies. I'm working on AI. I'm mostly in marketing and business and
Okay, so
e-commerce.
first of all, you will have to choose because in Israel there's no mix between the two. So it will be either for marketing, and I don't recommend it because your English is not mother tongue. And in Israel, most of the marketing is done in English and for the US and Europe. Okay, and there is almost no marketing in French in Israel. Very few positions. Okay, so I suggest that you focus on the business development positions. Okay, for the French market, but which there are more, by the way. So the minute you will focus on business development, they will want to see numbers. And your CV should be around numbers. I manage this and this type of clients, this and this type of, revenue, this and this number of sales, etc. It's becoming business development in Israel is connected to sales and opening doors. Okay, this is business development in Israel. It's not strategy. It's not M&A. It's about who can you open the door for in France and how. Okay, strategy position in Israel are very rare and rarely exist. Okay, and usually focused more toward the US.
What
So
do you mean about
business,
strategy?
what? Strategy?
Yes. What exactly do you mean by strategy?
A lot of people think that business development, let's say, are about strategy.
Okay,
In,
understand.
in Israel,
No,
it's not,
maybe.
yeah.
Okay, maybe I did not describe well. I've done business. I've run business for others. I've created my own business and I've sold it.
Good.
Now in Israel, I'm working on automation with AI and analytics and AI. I'm trying to create. I'm creating. I run. I've got an Osek Moshe, and I've been selling things in Etsy on the US and the world market for 3 years now, and I'm working on automation strategies, automation techniques to integrate AI in all the marketing process from the trend analytics to the creation of the products and the promotion of the product on social media. That's what I'm doing now. I'm still in the process of growing this business, but I'm hesitating between finding a job, which I need, or trying to find investors for this company.
I would recommend two things. First of all, we have a mentor, which is an expert in the field, and also a board member, which runs her own marketing company. I suggest you will consult with her. Okay. I think maybe you know her. Her name is Tanya Amar. She's also French. She has her own company for many years in the Israeli market, in the marketing field. Okay. I suggest you consult with her about that. And I
Okay.
can tell you one thing, if you want to go in as an implementer, okay, of AI, it's not about what kind of, how will I put it? It will be very, very difficult for you if you will need to show in your CV that you can do it hands-on. You can implement the system and you can do the corrections and you can do the demands. You will have to show engineering abilities in order to get into a company as an AI implementer.
Okay.
Nobody will look just for someone to choose, okay, the system. You will need to be able to show you can implement it as well.
That's exactly the limit. I'm working hands-on. I'm doing everything, but on the last tech need, I need help from a tech.
Okay, so this is not a good path for you. I'm telling you because in Israel they are not open okay? For unless it comes as a consultant, and then you can check the big four because they are building AI departments for consultants. You know, the big four, Deloitte, KPMG, etc. You can apply for them to be a consultant, okay? There they might receive someone that can just do the consultancy, but in the Israeli companies per se, the tech side, hands-on programming, hands-on manipulating the system, you will have to know that in order to be accepted. More questions, Kate?
Thank you. Hello.
Hi.
I have two questions. First, about years of experience. If in job description they ask about like 3+ years of experience, should I put it in the summary in my CV, or even in this case, I shouldn't do it? And the second question about copy-paste.
About what?
Copy-paste of job description. Like, should I delete all other description from my CV if I have something which wasn't mentioned in the job description, but it's relevant in general to this position?
First of all, yes, because the shorter and more to the point the CV is, the better for you. If you want to talk about more things that you can do it in an interview, okay? If you get the interview. Just remember, I call it CV for dummies, okay? It has to be that a child can read the CV and say, it's okay, okay? So very to the point, and the shorter, the better, okay? Now, if they ask for 3+ years, you don't have to mention the number of years. As I said, try to leave on your CV only the last 8 years. You know, some people leave only the last 5 years, by the way. The last 8 years is thought to be, you know, very long in a way. Most Israeli move 3 companies in 8 years.
My question about the age, you mentioned that we should hide age if we quite old enough. So should I just remove information about my higher education, because it's quite obvious if I finished my university quite long ago? Should I just hide it?
Yeah, I mean, you leave just the university and the degree and not the years. That's it. You just take off the years.
Yes, but in my CV, years mentioned, so it's quite obvious how old I am.
Yeah, so take it off. Okay. Esti?
Hi, thank you so much for giving me your time for this. I had a question what you said about not uploading your resume online and contact like doing it through referrals. Is it that only people who know you personally could refer you? Or you said like
Usually I would prefer you go through a Gvahim alumni or someone that knows you personally. But if you don't have a choice, I would, you know, try to find the head of department, which is hiring. Like if it's a marketing, I would try to contact the VP marketing. If it's a R&D, I will try to contact head of R&D. In Israel, the good thing is nobody cares about titles. I don't care if you're a VP or a CEO, I will contact you. Okay. And I would write in something really nice and very short, like I am Esti, I'm a marketing manager from A, B, and C, and I see you are hiring, and I really, really want to get a chance to interview for the position. Can you review and tell me if you think it will be a good fit? And that's it. Okay? Like most of them will answer. You'll be surprised. Actually, the professional managers answer much more than HR. Guys, I don't want to make you feel desperate because it's the same situation for Israelis like for Olim, okay? We are all, you know, thinking that the world is unfair. And it's true, it's an unfair world. But I want to give you a chance, okay? And you don't have to agree with anything I say. You can try your own way for as long as you want, and you can say, you see, Maya, you were wrong. People are doing, you know, the right things, and I'll be happy to hear that, okay? I'm just a very pessimistic person, okay? So don't take it too difficult. Okay. Okay, this is about moving to tech. Guys, if you are over 40 and never worked in tech, The chances in Israel are extremely low. Don't focus on tech companies. Over 40, never worked in tech. The switch is almost impossible, even for Israelis. The only thing you can do, and I highly recommend it, is do the stairway to heaven. What do I mean? Stairway to heaven means there are steps to get to tech, okay? And the step to get to tech is going into a company, but into the computer department in a regular company. Let's say doing data analyst in a food company and then go to tech, okay? Doing implementation in a bank and then go to tech, okay? This is stairways to your final destination, okay? So
I have a question.
yeah.
Does this also include juniors that they should go to like
Yes.
companies?
Juniors should choose places like banks, insurance, food companies. It will be so much easier and so much nicer. You will have a much easier way to tech if you worked as a junior in a computer department in a bank or in a insurance company. Okay?
Yeah, those usually require like really good Hebrew.
Not always, okay? Let's say in the food industry, they might be much nicer to you, even if you don't have great Hebrew, okay? Also in the medical device industry and medical industry, they are open to interview in English for tech positions. So go to the medical device industry. It's big in Israel. Okay, you have a much better chance. Okay, Dimitri, yes, questions.
Hi, I'm looking for a position tech company as a data scientist. I have a lot experience in this area for over 8 years, and I am 56.
But you have experience in the field, but I remember that not from tech, but from plants.
I have experience as a data scientist for 8 years.
Yeah, but not from a tech company.
In tech company, I have experience in tech company, but I have experience in Russia before. And my question, do I have a chance to find a job in tech company in Israel?
Yes, I wanted to ask you, did you attend the Gvahim summit? The Gvahim event that was this year?
Yes, I took participate in Gvahim summit, yes.
So did you met Alex, the Russian data scientist from Microsoft, a mentor?
I connected with from Microsoft, I forget the name,
Okay.
Leonid. I connected
Okay, so there was another guy, which is the data scientist, I think. And what I'm trying to say is I would prefer, and this is possible, to go through the Russian connections in the Gvahim community, so you can interview in Russian and meet people which are data analysts, data scientists, BI analysts, which are Russian and already work in companies, which means that the senior managers are open to that. Okay, so I think, I don't know how many of them you already met, but I would network in the Gvahim alumni and would contact the mentor manager, Sharon, okay, and tell her I want a Russian data scientist position manager, which is Russian, and I can network in the Russian market. There is a lot of Russians in the high-tech sector in Israel, which make it easier to break in. So I would focus on them.
Okay, thank you very much. Could you repeat one more the name Alexei? How?
I would check out the name, just a minute, okay? Alex Peles.
Peles. Okay, thank you very much.
You're welcome. You can ask the mentor manager to introduce you to him.
I worked in Russia with customer as a relationship manager. So here I made CV as a customer success manager. I have questions. First of all, which kind of technical skills I need to mention. Second of all, due to English is not, I'm not native in English, maybe it's better for me to look for another position to work with customers. I don't know.
I will tell you what, I think that you probably applied for the positions that Katya was recruiting for in Pioneer, okay, for the client relations. I'm sure that you saw it, and a lot of Olim are working in Pioneer in the client relation as the first position, okay? And also in Nayax.
Ajax?
Nayax, N-A, yeah, N-A-Y-A-X. Do all of you know Yekaterina, which is working in Gvahim? Katya?
No.
Okay, she's the HR consultant, and she's doing a lot of placement for the Russian speaker in the client relations field with the companies she's working in. So she's the person to ask to speak with. Katya.
Okay. Katya.
Yeah, she's an HR consultant in Gvahim, okay? And she's working a lot with Pioneer, Nayax, Moroccan Oil, with a lot of client relation position with Russian candidates. Okay, I will talk about something which is a sort of a known secret in Israel. Okay, it's mainly for young women, all the women with good English. If you're a marketing manager from Russia or France, or a sales manager, or something like that, and your English is not mother tongue, the way to go up the ladder is to go into a startup company, only startup, only up to 20 people, as an office manager or administration manager. And trust me, you will have to fight for it, because a lot of Israelis do it. Why? Because if it's a startup company, okay, and there's only up to 20 people, you can do everything as an office manager. You can say, I want to do the marketing, I want to help with sales, I want to help with programming, I want to do QA. In Israel, if it's a small startup, everybody are doing everything, okay? And everybody will be happy to let you assist with everything. Okay, so it's a known secret in Israel that when you are junior or when you want to go into high tech, you take an administration position in a very small startup company, and you do HR, you do marketing, you do sales, you do programming, and slowly, if the company grows, you become a professional. And if the company doesn't grow, at least you have experience in your CV in the field you're interested in. So it's something a lot of Israeli women do if they want to move to tech. But you have to be smart, not a bigger company, not more than 20 people in the company, okay? Up to 20 people, you can see in LinkedIn how many people there is in every company. And you have to change your CV to look more administrative and just say you have a lot of technical skill, blah, blah, blah. And if you're accepted, trust me, in 2 years, you'll be where you started, like where you are now in your position. So this is a very good advice for women. Now, a lot of times people will tell you that SDR is more open. It is sometimes, okay, but not always. It really depends which sales position. I would also say something else. Don't be afraid of sales. In most Israeli companies, it's not cold calling. This is not the idea. It's usually inside sale, which means you are following up or coming back to clients that were, clicking on your website or interested to get information. Okay, so don't be so much afraid of sales in Israel, especially not in high tech. You can take it as a first position. You'll be surprised to see that it is not telemarketing. This is not sales. Okay, so this is the admin position that I told you. Here I was generous up to 50 people, but I would recommend really small startup, up to 20 people. Do you understand the idea behind it? I mean, am I clear about why Startup up to 20 is a good idea for women, no matter what your position is. I'm waiting for a yes or a no. It's okay to say no. Explain again.
No, it's not so clear.
Okay, so again, okay, in a startup industry in Israel, if there is only up to 20 people in a company and you go in as office manager or administration manager, they will
Yes,
be
but
happy.
just a question: how can we pretend to be able to do an office management when we don't know exactly the rules in Israel and the way it works in terms of admin?
So first of all of you are going to have, first of all, it's less for men, I admit, it's more for women, okay? Usually they don't hire men for the position still, okay? Second, you will have meeting with your HR consultant and you can discuss it and have one CV prepared if you're interested for the administration manager position in startups. So if something comes up, you can send it right away. If you see you're not finding something in your specific position, I really recommend it because most of a lot that went into a startup became a marketing manager, HR manager, sales manager, the minute the startup started growing. Okay. Technical skills. A lot of Olim don't understand why it's so important in Israel. Okay. Look, every position in Israel, marketing, sales, project, every position has its specific tools that you have to know or you're not considered a professional in the field. Okay. Or you are less relevant for the company. Okay. It goes without saying that everybody, almost everybody that, apply for positions, no matter what positions, especially in marketing, let's say, have to know Canva, PowerPoint, the new AI tools, everything like that. You are expected to show on your CV that you are keeping up to date. If you didn't do an AI course in your field, something is wrong. You should start doing it right away in Coursera. You have to show on your CV that you are already studying the new update stuff on your field. It doesn't matter if your field is economics or marketing. Show the HR that you are doing a course in this field in AI. Okay? Now, what I'm trying to say, if you're applying for technical support, show them that you are technical. Okay, that you can't apply for technical support and write client relation. So how can you do technical support if you did client relation and you are not experienced with at least 3 different tools? What I'm trying to say, if you don't put up in the title that opens the tools that you are using for your profession, it will be usually ignored right away. Like Salesforce, Monday.com, I don't know, SQL, Excel, Python, like whatever you studied, whatever you feel comfortable to use in a daily basis in your profession, write it up on the top. A lot of you say you're an analyst, but you don't write on top of your CV, I am an analyst with experience in SQL and Python. So you're not an analyst. Okay, you can't say you are some kind of title if it's not the right title. Being an expert in Excel is not an analyst in Israel. If you write SQL, if you write Python, if you write R, they will test you. A lot of times, the first interview will be a test. So if you don't know it, don't write it. What I want you all to understand, there is a link which you can't separate between technical skills and position in Israel. One doesn't go without the other. As I said, nobody is looking for a thinker or a strategy. They are looking for someone that can do hands-on the position. And it doesn't matter if it's marketing, if it's analyst, if it's economist. If you don't have the tools for your position, it's not your position. Part of the things you will need to do with your HR is open at least 20 job descriptions of what you are looking for and taking out all the technical skills, just the technical skills they are asking. These are the people that will get hired. If you don't have the technical skill, at least do a course so you can put it on the top of your CV that you did a course in this specific technical field. While you're not working, a lot of companies have free courses, okay? Free of money in Salesforce, in Monday, in Wix to build the websites. A lot of them are giving free courses. If you're not working, this is the time to do the courses and get the certification. Okay, this is a standard example because a lot of you think you're a project manager. So ask yourself, do you have a Microsoft license for PM or a global certificate? Do you have an Agile certificate? Did you manage projects on Monday system? They have a free course. In Israel, the minute you say project, this question will be asked. If you don't, so you're not a project manager. If you can run a project on Excel, which a lot of people did, it's very junior in Israel. So get the Microsoft license if you want, or do the Agile certificate, which is very important in Israel. Okay, if you come from Russia or from France, your English has to be perfect. And I mean perfect to compete with Israelis. Okay, because for the Israeli market, for marketing and for sales, the only language that matters is English. That's it. If you come from marketing and sales, that's the only language that matters. There are very few positions for French, Russian, etc. And even if the position is for the Russian or for French, the interview will be in English. Always. So working on your English, if you are planning to apply for tech, is extremely important. If you are not planning on tech, if you are planning on food, banks, retail, work on your Hebrew. More important, because they don't work outside Israel, they work inside Israel. So you have to decide what you're going to focus on. If it's tech, you'll have to work on your English like crazy. If it's inside Israel, like banks, insurance, and food, you will have to work on your Hebrew. Okay, a lot of you that come from abroad, right? Sales and marketing, or I was first a project management, then I was an analyst, then I was a data analyst. Guys, in Israel, it's so focused that if they get confused, it will really put your CV aside. Focus only on something that looks very, very, if you apply for sales, all the positions should be related to sales. If you applied for marketing, all the positions should be related to marketing in the CV and in the LinkedIn. Israelis get confused if they see you did more than one thing in your life. Okay? Because ever since university, most Israelis go the same path. If you were a programmer, you started right after university and you continued as a programmer. If you worked in marketing, you started in marketing and you continued in marketing. We don't go outside the lines.
What
So
about like
don't
different?
confuse. Yeah.
What about like different areas in tech that like you don't necessarily have experience in, but like you're interested in working in? So like let's say, when you send your resume to someone to ask if they know of jobs, like it's like back end and cybersecurity. So it's like so targeted, but like is that okay?
Again, I need a specific example. Give me again
Like
the specific.
cybersecurity and like back end development, full stack. Like,
You want to move to a specific side in tech that you don't have experience, you mean? Let's say you
I
want to
mean,
move
like
to
I
a
don't have much
cybersecurity.
experience. What?
You don't have experience in cybersecurity, but you are a backend developer. This is what you mean?
Full stack, but like
Mm-hmm.
like that you said to be like targeted. So is it better to be targeted?
I still don't understand the question. I'm sorry.
That you said it's good to be targeted
Mm-hmm.
to have like one specific area.
Mm-hmm.
So does it like is it better to be targeted or like you said that you're open to a few areas?
No, open is not a good idea in the Israeli market.
Oh.
It means they are not professional.
Mhm.
You should know exactly what you want, exactly the title, exactly why you want it, and to know that you're good at it and send the message out. Okay?
Mhm.
Now, as you can see here, soft skills, no, not on the CV and not on your LinkedIn. I'm a great team member. I am a strategy. I am enthusiastic. No. Everybody write it. It's boring. Nobody reads it. It's too much space in the CV and LinkedIn. Don't put soft skills. Nobody is interested. They will ask you in an interview how you deal with failure, and then you can talk about it. They will ask you in an interview what was your best success, and then you can talk about it. But in your CV and your LinkedIn, it's a waste of space. And it makes you look generic. Hobbies, if it adds something to your profile, let's say a lot of programmers write about computer gaming, okay? A lot of marketing people have a blog or community managers, okay? So if the hobby is part of your profession, you can add it and it's nice, okay? But not just I traveled the world, okay? Etc. So just if it's something related to your profession, let's say if you're an analyst, a lot of analysts write that they play chess, okay? So if it's somehow reflecting on you and to your profession, then you can add the hobby on your CV on your LinkedIn. Let's say if you're a marketing person and you are an influencer or you have a podcast, great. It looks relevant. But why is it relevant that you enjoy baking? Okay. Psychologically and statistically wise, which research has shown, okay, that if you're already working, it's easier to get the next job, which means take any job that the title sounds okay, even if it pays horrible, and keep looking. Statistically wise, companies hire more people that are already working, strangely enough. Okay, so what I'm saying is it doesn't matter if you don't like the position, it doesn't matter if they pay shit, it doesn't matter. Take it, put on your CV and on your LinkedIn that you are working, okay? You will see you'll get more offers. Live close, okay? They will ask you. The minute they ask you, is it comfortable for you to transport? And they will ask you if some of you live in Haifa and want to work in Tel Aviv. First of all, of course, it's not on your CV and of course, it's not on your LinkedIn where you live, okay? And it's up to you if you decide you want to apply to a position in Modi'in if you live in Haifa, okay? But I don't want it to come up not on your CV and not on your LinkedIn. And if they ask where you live, you say, oh, I'm just in a transition mode right now because I'm a new Ole. When I find the position, I will move. Nobody will check it after you start working. But take into consideration, in Israel, it's really, really difficult with public transportation. If you apply for a position in Tel Aviv and you live in Haifa, it will take you 2 hours a day, an hour and a half and an hour and a half. And you will have to do it every day or 3 times a week. So think before you apply. I would recommend to learn a little bit at least of Hebrew so you can start and finish a conversation, but מה נשמע? אני שמח להיות פה. תודה רבה על הרעיון. Things that you should learn to say in Hebrew. Okay, now that I depressed everybody, more questions?
Yes, I
yes.
have a question.
Mm-hmm.
For example, I'm full stack engineer. I have experience in full stack, especially 2 years. But in general, in the IT sphere, I have 4 years. I was a process engineer. I was a QA engineer. Should I mention this part of my career or?
Only if you apply for QA or process.
Okay, if I want to apply full stack engineer, I should mention.
Just focus on that, yeah. And just write your degree. You have a computer science degree at what?
Maths, applied maths.
Good, so just leave that in the last 4 years.
Okay, got it. Thank you.
Welcome. Okay, now something that you will really hate, everybody. Israelis have an issue pronouncing names. I as well, okay? Especially the Russian family names and the Russian names. All of my consultees have changed names in LinkedIn and CV to the shorter version. What do I mean? Nikita Elekonin is okay, but if it was Elkovova, you know, the long one, okay, I would write Nikita E. Okay, on the CV in my LinkedIn. Psychologically wise, people are not approaching people, they have a problem pronouncing their names. It's a psychological thing. So they will prefer an Israeli or an American if they can't pronounce your name. Okay, so think about it, okay? If the family name is very long and the first name is very strange, change it to something shorter, okay? Yekaterina goes to Katya, also in Gvahim, okay? Whatever is, make it Alexander goes to Alex, okay? Whatever you can make it short and sweet is better for the Israeli ears and Israeli psychological point of view, okay? So think about it. If you feel comfortable, do it. Also on your emails, if your email is a very long name, like in your CV and in your family and in your LinkedIn, change it also on your email. Okay, I'm just repeating again. Everybody, I don't care what you do. If you have any type of profession, do the AI course and put it on your CV. I don't care how, what, I just do AI courses, okay? In your profession. For all programmers, your GitHub should be sparkling. Sparkling. That's the first thing. They don't even go to your LinkedIn. They go to your link hub, to your GitHub. If you don't have a GitHub, you're dead. You have to have like at least 3 projects which are like sparkling. And that's the end game. Play the game. Okay, so we finished for today. Try what I said for a month or 2. It's not a Catholic wedding. You can change afterwards. See if what I said brings you more replies and you get more interviews. Hopefully I'm right. Hopefully I'm wrong. I'm not sure what I prefer. Okay? And then we'll continue. I hope you all meet your HR consultants. I hope you all had already your first meeting or going to have your first meeting. And you can consult with them also regarding things you're not sure about. Guys, good luck. I hope not to see you again because you found a job or just to see you in an event. Don't worry. It's difficult for everybody, but as they say in dates, you just need the one. Okay? So it's like the dating scene. You kiss a lot of frogs and then you find your prince. Okay?